Talk about a lot of the idiots in the world, a lot of the racists, a lot of the fools. Well, I want you to listen to a little bit of audio here. This is a couple in Minnesota at a Walmart, one wearing a Trump shirt. They were both wearing swastika face masks at checkout. Have a listen to this.
You're sick. Yeah, you're sick. You have an illness. You can't be American and wear that mask. You cannot. We literally had a war about this.
I kill Nazis. My grandfather killed
You're wearing a swastika.
If you vote for Biden, you're going to be in Nazi Germany. That's what it's going to be like.
You're sick.
You're literally wearing a Nazi flag right now.
Yeah, because socialism is going to happen here in America.
You're sick.
Yeah,
We literally had a war about this. The Nazis lost.
All right, so you get the gist of that one. Anyway, the guy who is saying you're sick, and he happens to be right, he's also the man who videoed this whole exchange. His name is Ben Ruesch, and he joins us right now on the show. Ben, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Before we start, I gotta just offer a slight correction, and this is I don't blame you for making this mistake because it's been parroted around the media so much. It's actually my girlfriend, Raffaella, who is German, filming that video. But you can hear my
Fair
voice
enough.
at the beginning.
Fair enough. I appreciate you clearing up.
Right.
And by the way, I'm very glad that your girlfriend did that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing these two fools to the world. So I have to ask you, Ben, first question. What is going through your mind? Take me through the step-by-step process. When do you first see this couple, you and your girlfriend, and what is going through your mind when you see this?
Sure. So to the best of my recollection, it's been a couple days and it's been a whirlwind. So we went to Walmart in Marshall, Minnesota, to get, I believe it was cat toys and sparkly water. Pretty innocent, right?
Yeah.
Nothing you would think would come out in this type of drama. So we've gotten the cat toys, and we're sort of in the middle of the store. I think it was the kitchen section. Raffaella sort of taps me on the shoulder. She's like, "Do you see that? Those people have swastika masks." Because I didn't even notice until she pointed it out. I looked down the aisle, and there it was, sort of plain as day. I was like, "That? Are you serious? Is this real?" So we're both standing there just sort of gobsmacked because this is 21st century America. World War II was, it seems like eons ago.
And were others around you gobsmacked as well? Did you notice that the other people in the store?
There was another young man who came up to us and it essentially was like, "Is this for real? Did you see that?"
Yeah.
And so I was kind of trying to figure out what should I do. Down the end of the aisle, there were two employees. I decided to go up to them and say something to the effect of, "Hey, do you realize there's people wearing literal swastika flags on their faces as masks?" And I was sort of thinking, at least I'll speak up. I don't know if I can or will do anything, considering the state of America and the misunderstanding of how the First Amendment applies to things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I went up to them, talked to them, and then Raphael and I decided we'd try and just head a different direction, try and get the sparkling water and get out. We're sort of walking around, and we're both sort of in horror at this point, trying to figure out what to do, what to feel.
Right.
I look over towards the beverage section. They're heading that way, and I'm like, "Oh, great." So we decided to just sort of bail, go check out, and just try and get out of this situation. We check out. We decided to go up to customer service to speak to the manager and say, "Hey, this is disgusting. How can you let this happen in your store?" Of course, this couple comes to check out, and they're in the register directly behind us. So basically, I see them there, and I'm thinking to myself, "Okay, it's now or never. I'm gonna speak up. I'm gonna that first line I said, "You're sick."
Yeah.
That was the only pre-contrived line I had in my head. I'm just going to say, "You're sick." I'm not going to do anything physical. I'm not going to cuss at them. I'm just going to say, "You're sick."
Right.
I was sort of betting on these people were looking for a reaction. They were definitely stupid, but
there's a point where you say to them, stop watching Fox News, which I actually thought was kind of funny. Can you explain that a little bit?
Sure. So it's sort of widely perceived nowadays that Fox News is they spread untruth like the plague. They're one of these networks that just doesn't take any sort of responsibility for the content they put out. I'm a liberal, left-leaning person. I don't have a current political affiliation, but I plan to vote Democrat in November. I watch Fox News on occasion if I happen to encounter it, and the things that they say and the views that they take, it seems like they're very much designed to prey on the gullible and uneducated or undereducated. One of the things that I like to say, or that I've been saying when people ask me, about this situation, is that this just points out how education in this country is dismal, and it's failing. And when people sit at home and they watch Fox News and they believe everything they hear and they go off spouting it.
Sure, I understand. I totally get it. Yeah, if you're just joining us, by the way, we're speaking with Ben Ruesch. His girlfriend is the one that videoed this Nazi mask-wearing couple, and now we're talking about it with him. He saw it firsthand. Obviously, the video went viral. So, Ben, I don't think whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, whether you watch Fox News or not, we all should agree as Americans, anybody who supports a Nazi symbol is a piece of garbage, an ignorant buffoon at worst case scenario. So you get into, you're getting into it with them a little bit, you and your girlfriend, and you're obviously on the right side of things. And after they check out, what happens later as they're walking to the car? Does anybody follow them? Because my understanding is that they've been banned from Walmart for a year. Can you tell me what happens next?
Sure. So after our verbal altercation with them, the lady was the first one to leave. The husband was left over checking out. I should mention, or I seem to recall having read this in an article I didn't actually see myself, but in their item list was bleach and cheese puffs. So that gives you an idea of how strange it is. The guy sort of wheels his cart around the corner. Raphael and I are sort of in the alcove in the customer service place, so we didn't see what happened, but we hear a commotion, and I didn't see it myself, and I didn't go around and look because I just didn't want to get drawn into anything that might put me in trouble with the law, because I'd already said my piece. But I think, if I recall correctly, somebody, in no particular order, ripped the mask off, slapped him, and I think there was a punch thrown. There was a very not subtle commotion. So I think there was a physical altercation.
Why am I not surprised? Well, let me say this, Ben. This is one of those situations, I talk about cell phones and how cell phones sometimes hurt society more than help, but I'm going to say the opposite in this situation. I'm so glad that your girlfriend picked up her phone and exposed these two idiots. And by the way, it's also brave of you guys. I don't know how I would handle that situation. You never know who these people are. They could have a gun. They could have a knife. They're obviously out of their mind. But I'm so glad that you stood up. I don't care what your political affiliation is. I don't care, what networks you're watching. The fact that you and your girlfriend stood up for what is right, and you did the right thing by addressing them, by exposing their stupidity. We now know who this couple is. They've been publicly shamed, and I think everybody should be publicly shamed if they have the same behavior, Ben. And I just want to commend you and your girlfriend for that. I really do.
100%. And as I think. I don't know if you know this, but at the moment you're speaking to two people who are from Jewish descent as well.
That is
and
correct.
it is highly offensive when you see that type of anti-Semitic response, and we should be calling it out and bringing about more education. I'll only clarify one thing. You're also talking to a woman who is a well-educated Republican with multiple degrees who's worked for Fox News and spent her entire life in media, and all sides can report things that people think are fake and otherwise, but we can't just go and say that one side gives total fake news, because that's not accurate.
Well, I think there are good journalists on both sides of the aisle. I do tend to think that, yes, you can see bad rhetoric and what Ben was talking about on Fox News, just like you could see something on another network as well. I think that's fair to say. But again, Ben, I want to thank you and your girlfriend for what you did. I'll give you the last word here, not to sound like Bill O'Reilly. I usually never say that. But Ben, go ahead. If there's anything else you wanted to respond to, have at it.
Sure. I've just got two things. The first is that for people who haven't read any or many of the articles, one of the reasons why this is so important is Raphael is German, born and raised in Germany, came to the U.S. as a student, and it had a profound effect on her because Germans take their history really seriously.
Yes.
They're very different than the U.S., which has, the Confederate legacy that seems to live on into the 21st century, despite them having lost. The Germans don't have any of that with their Nazi heritage. They take it very seriously. They leave history in the past while being respectful of the fact that it happened, and they've taken many steps to make sure that never happens again. And it was just so traumatizing for her.
Sure.
And for me as well, I never thought I'd see that or have to do anything like that.
Right.
And
Sure.
I wish I could have done more.
Well, you did everything you could. You did everything you could. We don't want a physical confrontation. I think you did everything you could. So don't think that you could have done any more. You guys did everything you could. Your girlfriend.
You were brave.
Yeah, your girlfriend took a video. We exposed them for who they are. That's ignorant, hateful people. And you did everything you could within the law. And I want to thank you, Ben, for coming on the show. I appreciate you and what your girlfriend did.
Sure. Can I?
Sure.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure. Go ahead.
So I have a statement directly to the president. I actually cleared this with your screener. May I go ahead and make that?
Sure. We got about a minute here, so go ahead. Yep.
Okay. Yep. I'll do it quick. To Donald Trump, you are a crook, a fraud, and a racist moron. Your illegitimate presidency has been a farcical and dangerous display of pettiness, incompetence, greed, and blatant racism. As the occupant of the highest political office in the United States, it is your responsibility to display the highest level of character and intellect. You, quite frankly, have lowered the bar so low for a president that anybody after you will seem like a Harvard scholar, which is ironic because our previous president was, in fact, a Harvard scholar. Yet you and your Republican cronies treated him like garbage because he was black. You've also focused what little effort you put into the job on undoing good things that President Obama did, with no replacement solutions or plans to create them. People wearing swastika masks in Walmart is just one of many symptoms that come from having a president who refuses to believe in history, ethics, or science. You are a disgrace and a traitor, and the day cannot come soon enough when you are voted out and thrown in jail for your countless crimes against this nation and the people who trusted you to carry us in our time of need. With sincere and utter contempt, Benjamin Ruesch, Lexington, Massachusetts. Thank you.
Amen, my friend. I got to say, as somebody who is an anti-Trumper myself, I can't disagree with a lot of the things you said in there, Ben. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Ben, for coming on. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Stay healthy.
Thank you. You too. You too and your family. Thank you.